Good morning, friends. Welcome to goonlinetrainings.com. Today, we're going to understand one more important concept. And in many interviews, this topic is going to be asked. Many interviews, almost all the interviews, this question is asked. Clear? That is what is called checkpoints in SSIS. Okay? Checkpoints in SSIS. So let us understand what is checkpoints. Let me tell you. I have task number 1. I have a task number 2. Clear? Whatever be the reason, this is a successfully got completed, and this is what is failed. When you see the failure reason, and when you implement the solution and again re-execute the package. So SSIS again is trying to execute this and trying to execute this. But your thing is that already you have executed. You don't want to execute this once again. You wanted to start from the point of failure, not from the starting position. This is what is called checkpoint. Clear? So what is the checkpoint information? The checkpoint information is checkpoint restart the package from the point of failure. For example, you have a task number 1, you have task number 2, task number 3. Task number 3 where the failure is occurred. When you give the solution for the task number 3, again execute the package. The entire package should not be executed again because already task number 1 is got executed, task number 2 is got executed, task number 3 there is a failure. So wherever there is a failure, when you restart the package, when you re-execute the package has to execute in the task number 3, but not in the task number 1 and 2. Am I clear? So this kind of a technique is called as a checkpoint. So checkpoint restart the package from the point of failure. So how come SSIS knows that this is what is called executed, this is what is called not executed? Means it is going to be maintaining a checkpoint file. Clear? So what we need to do, we need to give one checkpoint file. So we need to create one checkpoint file .txt or .any file we can create. In that it is going to be maintaining task number 1 is done. Okay. Task number 2 is also done. Task number 3, this is where failure. So it is going to be maintaining some information in a separate file. This file we need to attach. Am I clear? When there is a failure, what it does, it is going to be keeping the file, and when you restart the package, it knows that this is where the failure is. It is going to be coming and executing the task number 3. If everything is got executed successfully, means this file will be deleted. Am I clear? If everything is successful, means the file will be deleted. So this is what is called a checkpoint. When we configure checkpoint, compulsorily we need to create one text file. That file is called checkpoint file. In that, it is going to be writing the information, which task is completed, which task under failure. Clear? Saves the file if the package is failed or stopped, deletes the file if the entire package runs successfully. SSIS will reinforce the, will reference the checkpoint file when we rerun the package during failures. Clear? Checkpoint cannot start the package at the row level. It can start at the task level. Clear? So what is the meaning? For example, I have employee ID, employee name, and I have employee salary. Clear? So I have 1 and Ram. So 1000. 2 Sita have 2000. I have data like this. This is what is called salary. Now I wanted to dump this salary, dump this data to the one more table, let us say dim employee table. Whatever be the reason, this got loaded. So this got loaded, and here the failure is occurred. So the failure is occurred in the second row. Clear? The second row did not come here. The second row is in the failure is occurred on the second row. When you restart the entire package, now the question is it going to start from the second row, or it is going to be starting from the first row itself? The answer is it is going to be starting from the first row again. Clear? It cannot start at the row level. It is going to be starting at the completed task. Am I clear? So that is what is the point. So I have to tell you, this is what is the point. If there is a failure here, you should not think that whatever be the data it got loaded and it does not know whether it is got loaded. It is going to be starting the entire package once again, and entire task once again. But if you wanted to perform that the row level means you need to perform incremental loading. What is incremental loading? Matching data will not go, unmatched data only will go. Clear? So incremental loading will start the package at the row level. But if I wanted to start at the task level, that is where you are going to be using what is called a checkpoint. Checkpoint, wherever there is a failure in the task from the row one itself is going to be starting. Clear? So now I have to take one new package. Very, very important. I would like to take task number 1 and task number 2. I have to configure this. Let me go rename. So 18 demo. This is what is called checkpoint. You can give checkpoint. Okay. Now you go. I am planning to create please wait, SQL server is being opened. Please wait, guys. It's going to open. It's taking a lot of time. Okay, now it's almost done, ready. I wanted to take some scripts and I wanted to copy and paste. I'm going to be using a company database where employee 1 and storing some data and employee number 2 storing some more data. Okay, I have employee 1 and employee 2. I have data AAA, BBB. This is what is my simple file. I'm going to be double clicking on this and going to configure company. Company is this. And in that, I wanted to write like this. Delete from employee 1. Control C and Control V. So I need to delete the data. I'm going to be writing delete from employee 1. So double click on this. Again, I'm going to be using here delete from employee 2. Clear? So when I execute the package, it is going to be deleting from the delete employee 1 records. Okay. Delete employee 2 records. So save the file and right click close all, but now save and execute the package. Now what will happen? The data from both tables will be deleted. Clear? So everything is fine. Let me go and try to execute this. You will not be able to see any data because everything is functioning properly fine. I wanted to go back and again load the data here. right? Again, load the data here. Now I have the data. Now in this, sorry, I wanted to load the data. I have the data in this, but now what I'm trying to do, drop table employee one. The first table I'm dropping. If I drop, you will be able to get the error like this. First one is gone. Second one will be happening. First one is no more. So when I execute this, what will happen now? The first task will fail. When the first task will fail, so let me create this, not the first one. I'm going to be dropping the second one. So I have the task number one, task number two. I wanted to drop the table number two. Okay. Table number two, I would like to drop it. So in the table number one, I have a data, but table number one, there is no data. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to re-execute this. When I re-execute this, first one got executed. Second one where the issue. Now I will see the what is the issue here. The issue is that this invalid object name employee two. This table is not there. If the table is not there, I know how to create a table. I am giving the solution to the task. The second one is also done. And the first one where the data got deleted. And the second one where the data is there. Now I wanted to run the package. If I run the package, it is going to be starting again task number one. If I place the data again, the data will got deleted. Clear? So I have task number one already executed. I want to execute task number two, but SSIS does not know that. So it is going to be again starting from the task number one, again deleting the data from employee number one and employee number two. This is what I don't require. This is what I don't need. What is my requirement? My requirement, if there is a failure, it has to start from the failure, not from the task number one itself. Clear? Now I wanted to repeat this activity, but now I have to configure checkpoint because I don't want to have this like that. I wanted to configure checkpoint file. How to do that? Go right click on this, go to properties. There is a when you go up, right click on this. When you close this window, right click on this, you say properties. If you're somewhere, sometimes you're here, you have to go up. Checkpoint file name, you need to create one file. So I have to go to D drive and create one file. Wherever you would like to create one file, you can create. I will say any name you can give. Checkpoint.txt file. That is what you're going to be creating, or you can say checkpoint, the file I have created. So checkpoint.txt, let me give a file. So checkpoint, you need to say if the file exists. Okay, if the file exists, so save checkpoint to make it to true. So this is one thing. Then after that, apart from that, you need to go and right click on this, go to properties. Now here you have to say fail checkpoint on failure, make it to true. And again, go here, right click on this, go to properties, fail package on failure, make it to true. This activity, you have to do it for everything. So what is that? You have to go, right click on this, go to properties, fail package on failure, make it to true for all the tasks. You go, right click on this, go to properties. This is also true. After, what you need to do? Right click on this, go to properties, you go up. So checkpoint file name, if exists true, that's it. Now, what you have to do? You need to execute it. Now I have the data. If everything is working fine, the checkpoint file will be deleted. So what is the checkpoint file? This is a checkpoint file name. If everything is smooth, means the file you cannot see it. So everything is smooth. Now you have deleted the data. There is no data. If you go to D drive, If you go to D drive, nowhere you will see a checkpoint file. Clear? But now what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to drop the second one. I am trying to insert the data. You have this data in this, but there is no file, you will get an error. When the error occurs, the checkpoint file will be saved. Clear? The error occurred. We know this problem. What is the problem? Invalid object number, employee 2. So you see the checkpoint file, this will be there. Go to D drive. Now you will be able to see checkpoint file. So this is going to be writing some information. We don't know what it is writing, but it is writing task number 1 is done, task number 2 is failure. So it knows that some information from about this file. Now I rectify the data. How to rectify the data? You go and create the second file. Okay. Now I have the 2 files ready. Even though I have 2 files ready, it should not touch the task number 1, right? And let me execute it. It is going to be executing the task number 2. Now it will be deleting the checkpoint file also, because everything is once done means the checkpoint file will be deleted. You can go D drive, you will not be able to see any checkpoint file. Am I clear? So wherever there is a failure, I wanted to start from there. It is called as a checkpoint. Very, very important information. Am I clear? So what is a checkpoint is compulsory interview question. You cannot run away with this interview question. Am I clear? So checkpoint restart the package from the point of failure. How does it know? It will be using one checkpoint file, and if there is a problem in that, it is going to be using that file, and it knows that where the package has got a fail. So using that file as a reference, it is going to be starting from there. Once everything is successfully executed means it deletes the file if the entire package runs successfully. Clear? So this is what is called checkpoint. So fail package. So this must be true for all the tasks. If you have thousands of tasks, you have to go right click on the property, and for each and every task, it must be true. So this is a painful job. You need to do it. So the next one, checkpoint file, if exists, this is make it to true. So this is the configuration. Clear? So the next concept is called security. So if you wanted to provide a password, for example, sometimes people will ask you, this is very, very important package. I would like to give a password. Can I give a password? Right click on this, go to properties. You will be able to give a protection level or security protection level, where you will be able to give a password. When you click on the password, you have to go to package password, click on the password, new password, confirm password. Clear? So a lot of options are available here. So the recommended option is encrypt all with the password. You have to choose this, and you have to click on new password and confirm password. At the time of execution, it is going to be asking you password. If you don't give the password, it is going to be failing. Am I clear? So this is what is called security. So use a protection level property to give the package. SSIS encrypt sensitive data such as the password or connection strings, blah, blah, blah. Production level property has a lot of things are available, but one recommended thing is that this one. People will say, what is this? What is it? Don't save sensitive, encrypt all with password. Lot of things are available. You can tell them that I never used any password, but once we have used encrypt sensitive data with password, remaining things I never used. You can say like that. There's no, there's no problem. So we don't use a password because if you forget the password in the production after deployment, then it will be a problem. Clear? So you can tell them that security can be applied. So with the password, but I never used in my production environment or in the current project. You can tell them like that. And the next one is called transactions in SSIS. What do you mean by transaction? Transactions is a SQL concept actually. So transaction is the concept of RDBMS or SQL. So same thing got implemented. So what is the meaning of this? I will tell you clearly. You have to understand what is a transaction. Okay. According to the SQL, it is actually SQL concept. So what is the concept name? Transactions or transaction, whatever you wanted to call as. Transaction means all or none. That means either you do all the steps or you don't do at all, but don't be in the intermediate stage. That is what is the meaning of a transaction. Clear? What is a transaction? Do all steps, complete all steps. Okay, all steps you complete or don't do any work. None means you don't do any work, but you don't say that, sir, out of 10 activities, I have only completed 3 activities out of 10. After that, I could not complete. This is what is a bad. So you need to perform task number 1, task number 2, task number 3, task number 4. This is what is called one work I have given to you. So one work I have given to you. In that work, task number 1, 2, 3, and here only you have done, and there is a failure here. If there is a failure, you cannot say that, sir, I have only completed 2 out of 4 steps, and after that I could not complete. This is completely invalid. What you need to do? Either 0 by 4, don't do anything, or 4 by 4, complete everything. But this is what is called dangerous. This is what is called dangerous. You should not do. If you do like this, a transaction concept will not allow. Transaction saying either do all the steps, 4 steps are completed, or 0 steps are completed, but you cannot say I have completed 1 step, I have completed 3 steps. So this is what is called dangerous. This is what is not a transaction. So that means if you implement a transaction on means either you complete all the steps or you don't do any steps. But if you are stuck somewhere, for example, you failed, you cannot go further. What you do? Whatever you have done, that has to be undone. For example, I told you to one work sum. What is the work I have given? I have given you a work called buy an apple. So that is the work I have given. So what is the task number 1? So you took this. You took money from me. Step number 1. Task number 2. You go to shop. So task number 3. And the task number 3, you buy an apple. And you buy an apple. Task number 4, you hand over. You hand over the apple. Okay, this is the task I have given. You took the money, you go to the shop, you buy an apple, you hand over the apple to me. Clear? So these are the activities that you are doing. So you took the money, you go to the shop, apples are not available in the market. What do you do? You failed. You failed in this task. Why? Because apples are not available in the shop, and the shop owner is saying it will come after 3 days. So when there is a failure, you cannot say that out of 3 activities I have completed and 3 activities, then I could not complete the 4. So if you say like that, what will I say? Okay, that is fine. So whatever be the activity that we have done already, that you need to undone. So you go to the shop, you come from the shop, you took my money, you give my money. That means it is a completely 0 out of 4. You have done something, but there is no apple available. If there is no apple available, what you have to do? You have to come back and you have to hand over the money to me. It is equivalent to say. But you are saying, sir, I am not able to complete. I am stuck here. Means it is dangerous. Okay? So anyhow, you cannot hand over this. So you are failed here. So you have to undone. Clear? When you make a transaction on, what will happen? If there is a failure here, remaining tasks need to be undone. Clear? That is what is called transaction. Clear? So that is what is called atomicity property in ACAD, right? The same thing here, atomicity. So we'll talk about transaction properties, atomicity, blah, 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 right? Atomicity means transactions only. Am I clear? So you have to do the completed tasks. But sometimes, even though I don't do it completely, that is fine, right? For example, I'm loading employees data. I have 10,000 rows are available. How many rows are available? I have 10,000 rows are available. I am dumping into dim employee table. Clear? So you have loaded 6,000 rows. Then there is a failure. When there is a failure, what is the problem? If there is a failure, whatever be the problem, we don't know. After the 6,000 rows, there is a failure. But according to transactions, you do it fully. And if there is a failure, whatever you have loaded, that you have to remove it. That you need to remove it. It is simply 0 tasks you have done it. Clear? So that is what this fellow says. Whatever be the reason, if you're not able to complete, you're able to load 6,000 rows, then it is got to fail. Whatever the data got loaded, because you cannot go further because there is a failure. So whatever the data you have loaded, that has to be undone. So when you implement a transactions in the SSIS package, when you make it on, if there is a failure, whatever be the task that has been done, that will be undone. So by default, this will be off. By default, by this will be off because you load 6,000 rows and there is a failure. Clear? And if you fix the problem, let it load from the 6,001 row. What is the problem? Why is that we need to delete all the data again, load all the data? If tomorrow there is an issue, then rectify the issue and continue from there. I don't want to, transactions on. Transaction, I don't want to make it on. If I make it on, all the data will be deleted. Loading, let us say it has took 4 hours. Again, deleting it will take 1 more hour. Again, loading it will take 4 more hours. So what is the fun in this? So by default, transactions are often SSIS package. So what will happen? Even though the data is not fully loaded, the whatever be the data it got loaded, it will be there in the destination table, but will have a mismatch. Then the developer or the admin will see, they will see the problem. Again, they rerun the package. So the remaining data will be loaded. So whatever be the data, it is not loaded, it is going to be loading because we're going to be performing incremental loading. Matched data it will not go, unmatched data, remaining data is going to be going. Am I clear? So transactions are 3 things in SSIS: not supported, supported, required. Clear? So these are 3 things. So required means this is the one you need to make it on. This is the one you need to make it on. So these are equivalent to no transactions only. So how to make a transaction? I have to go back. For example, I have to go back to this package. Okay. I have to go back, and if there is a failure, so how to implement? Go to control flow, right click on this, go to properties. There is a transaction option. So by default, which is supported. So before supporting, somebody has to make it on. Required means on. If this is on, then only the required means this is on. Supported means it is not on. Not supported means also not on. You have to make it on like this. When you make it on, it is loading the data. You have 3 rows are available. Okay. Only 1 row got loaded. After that, the package failed. What will happen? This will be deleted and no data will be there when you make it on. On means this is what is called on. Clear? If you wanted to make it off, so you have to simply go either make it supported or make it not supported. Both of them are off. You have to make it on. Clear? So normally we never use transactions because it is unnecessary waste of time. So in my project, in my 20 years of life, I never implemented a transactions. Transactions will unnecessarily delete the loaded data. That is what I don't need in the real time. But very rare situations, once I have implemented transaction, make it on. Okay, make it on. So when are we going to be using supported, non-supported means you have a package. Inside a package, you have one more package or calling. So in this case, we are using, if this package is putting required means this transaction will be on. Clear? So when you have a package inside a package, when you make it on, the parent package is on. When your parent package is on, when the child package is supported. What is the meaning? So when you say supported, the transaction also will be on in the second package. That is the meaning. Clear? The primary package, the parent package where you have make it on. The child package are calling here. So by default, this is supported. What is the meaning? If the transaction is on, automatically this is also on. But if you make it not supported, this will be on, but here a transaction will not be on. That is the meaning. Clear? So when you have any transaction, so when you have any transaction required means only on. When you have a package and package, so then you will be able to understand. Clear? But when the first one is supported, second one is supported, but that means it is a no. Supported means a no. Somebody has to make it on. If first package isn't supported, second package is also supported. Supported means what? Supported nothing. If some package is on, then only it will become on. Otherwise, it is not going to be on. So that is what you need to understand. Okay? So not supported, supported required. This will be there when you have package inside a package. Otherwise, it is not going to be implemented. So transactions are bad. We never implement them. Security also bad. We never implement them. Even checkpoints also, we never implement them in the real time. Am I clear? So that is what. Then there is an interview question. How do you improve the performance of the packages? Use only unblocked transformations. Blocked transformations are slow. We discussed already. Use a table view or a tabular fast view. So there is an option here. When you go to data flow task, when you go to a destination, OLEDB destination, you will be able to see a tabular view. Tabular view means you will be able to get row by row. It is very, very slow. When you say tabular view fast load, it can tell you how many rows you can take. I can take every time 10,000 rows. Every time 20,000 rows, I can take it. Like that, you can have it. Clear? But when you say tabular view, it is going to be taking row by row. I told you, right? You have 5 cups of coffee, one coffee by one coffee you're serving in the kitchen, from the kitchen to the dining hall. So 5 times you have to go to the kitchen, 5 times you have to come. But when you use the tray, how many times you need to go and get it? So only one time 5 cups of coffee you can get it. So tabular view fast load and a tabular view, what is the difference? The difference is tabular view fast load is going to be performing batch operations. You can configure the batch. If you don't have any batching configured, automatically default option will be there. It is going to be taking by default 10,000, 20,000 rows at a time. Clear? It is also only available to the OLEDB destination. Clear? It is not available to the OLEDB source. If you drag and drop OLEDB source, you don't have the tabular view fast load. Clear? So always a tabular view fast load is available onto the OLEDB destinations, not to the source. Clear? So writing data always done in the quicker manner, and it is going to be writing batch operation, not in the flat file destination also, only in the OLEDB. So when you go, nothing is available here, only in the OLEDB destination that is available, you can use. Retain same connection property, make it true. So Sometimes I'm going to be using OLEDB. Where is OLEDB? Sorry, I go here. This is my OLEDB connection. This is the connection I'm using. And here, this is the connection I'm using. Here, same connection. Here also same connection. In the OLEDB connection, when you go to the connection, right click on this, say properties. There is a property called retain same connection property, make it to true. This is very, very important property. Retain same connection property, make it to true. What is the meaning? So whenever this fellow comes, this fellow comes and puts some data, this fellow opening the door and going into the table, writing the data and closing the door. This fellow also opening the table and writing some data and closing the door. You assume 50 people are entering into the room. So first guy will open the door, come inside the room, close the door. Second fellow also come to the room, open the door, get inside and close the door. Third person will come, open the door, get inside, close the door. So it will take a lot of time. Opening, closing, everybody is doing. But I'm saying retain same connection property true. What is the meaning? When I make it to on, first person will open the door, last person will close the door. That is the meaning. Retain same connection means till the data is using. So many people are going to be using the door. So first guy is going to be opening the door, last guy is going to close the door. Clear? So what is advantage? People can come into the room, get into the room quickly. Retain same connection property means this fellow is using, this fellow is using, this fellow opening, getting inside and closing. This fellow again opening, getting inside and closing. So same connection is being used by multiple OLEDB destinations. This property is available only to the OLEDB destination, not to the flat file or Excel file. Clear? Very, very important activity. If you wanted to perform these operations means you have to say retain same connection, make it true. Execute the tasks in parallel. How to execute the tasks in parallel? As I told you, for example, if you do this is a task number 1, then I have a task number 2. If I wanted to execute them, I should not create any link like this. If I create, so it will be one by one. But if I don't do, it will be doing like this, right? So this is one. Or I wanted to execute this one means I told you, you can create one parent package. Inside that, you can call this package number 1, and you can also call package number 2. So when you call these two, when you call parent, these two will be executed parallelly. Clear? So these two will be executed parallelly. At that time, I told you how many tasks we can execute parallelly. So it depends upon, I told you already, when you go to properties, so there is a max concurrent executables -1. What is the meaning? So here, number of processors available in your computer. So if you go to Windows Explorer, if I go to this PC, right click on this, go to show more properties. Okay. And when I go, you will be able to see i5 single processor here, 8 GB of RAM. So if you wanted to know how many logical processors you have, in SQL Server, we can see clearly, right click on this, go to properties. You can go to processors. When you open this, so I have CPU 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Totally, this 7 plus 0, 8 processors are available. Okay. So totally how many processors are available? 8. When I say -1, it is equivalent to 8 - 1, 7. At a time, 7 activities we can run parallelly. So that is what is the max concurrent executables -1 means. So this one also people would ask you, what is the meaning of max concurrent executables? So at a time, how many packages you can run parallelly? How many tasks you can run? It is max concurrent executables. So -1, right click on this, go to properties. You can go up max concurrent -1. So -1 means I have 8 processors, 8 - 1, 7. If I put 5, only 5. If I put 1,000, it cannot run. Maximum processors I have only 8. So maximum 8 tasks you can run parallelly. For example, I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, lot of things. But at a time, how many things will be taken? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 only it will be taking. Then afterwards, it is going to be taking the remaining things. Clear? So that is what we discussed. How many packages you can run parallelly? Clear? So how many packages we can run parallelly means you can run. So max concurrent executables minus 1. Clear? That is what is the point. So minus 1 means what? Number of logical processors available minus 1. Why 1? It is reducing because one processor need to be given to the operating system, because operating system also wanted to use some processor, right? So one processor is allocated to operating system and all other application inside the operating system. Remaining processors are busy with the SSIS itself. Am I clear? So that is what is called max concurrent executables, make it to 1. Execute SQL task batch operations. As I told you, OLADB command is very, very slow. Execute SQL task is just faster when you wanted to delete, when you wanted to perform the SQL statements. Never use SCD. Why? SCD again uses OLADB command transformation. Disable indexes and triggers on the destination tables, because when you have a triggers and indexes on the table, SQL Server tables, that you need to disable them for some time, because every time when there is a trigger, the trigger will get fired if you have a trigger. So you go to tables and you go to tables and you can disable if you have some indexes or the triggers. Go, I don't have any index, but there is an index or it is something else, you will be able to disable them. Go to tables. You can say, for example, go to dim time table. There is a triggers are not there, but indexes are there. You can right click on this. You can say disable the sometime. Disable this and click on OK. And you load the data. And afterwards, what you do again, you come here, you will be able to rebuild. Clear? So that is what is the important point. What is index? I will be able to, I think I would have taken the class in the SQL Server indexes class. You need to know what is indexes, how to, why index, everything I would have spoken about it. You have to know all of them, and statistics also, how to enable the statistics, how to disable the statistics, lot of things, I would have talked about in the index classes. Compulsory interview questions on the indexes. You have to watch indexes of SQL Server without to fail. Clear? So this is what is called checkpoint, then security, transactions, and how do you improve the performance of your SSIS packages. Am I clear? So we'll continue a few more things tomorrow. Clear? So that is what is the important activity. Anything else you would like to discuss, guys?